kitchen this morning. Oh, I gotta do some dishes. Got a nice windy day out today, and look at these beautiful flowers. Attracting all my little hummingbirds, so pretty. But it's kind of rainy out today, so it's a great day to be baking inside, and I wanted to show you my sourdough starter. Everybody meet Susan. Hi, Susan. I don't know why I named her Susan. It's just like Susan the sourdough starter. So you can see all the little bubbles on my starter. I don't know if you guys are into baking or homemade stuff, but you can make bread a lot of different ways. My favorite way is using a sourdough starter, which means it gives the bread a lot of flavor and chewiness and a nice crispy crust. You can get a sourdough starter a lot of different ways. You can make one at home with flour, yeast, water, and honey or sugar. Or you can go online, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to a lot of different places that have older starters, and they'll mail it to you. So I got a starter mailed to me, dehydrated, just some little flakes in the mail. That was kept from the Oregon Trail, so it's a really old starter that's just been kept and cultivated and passed down for generations. So this one is from like the 1840s, and I rehydrated it. Obviously, I've had it for a while. I keep it in a glass bowl, and I only use a wooden spoon to stir it. There are a couple of rules with my sourdough. Never use metal. So no metal bowl, no metal spoon. And I think of her like a living thing because she's alive. That's why she's bubbling up. So she has to be fed, and you have to take care of her. So I use the sourdough starter once a week, and I make my bread, and then I feed my starter and give her a nice little stir. And I like to stir her every day just to keep her bubbling and happy. Over time, you develop a really nice flavor in your starter because it pulls bacteria, good bacteria, and good spores and things, histamines and things from your environment. So it builds up your personal immune system over time. So sourdough starters are classic. A lot of people have kept them for a long time, especially farmers. We love them. This is a loaf of bread that I'm making. I like to do a slow proofing or slow fermentation with my sourdough because I want it to develop really good flavor. So this dough I made yesterday, and I just took a cup of my sourdough starter, actually a cup and a half, fed it, add some sugar to it or some honey, add some more flour and water and salt, and then you just kind of knead it into a round ball. I let it proof or sit in my refrigerator overnight to kind of develop a nice flavor. And then the next day, today, I let it proof out of the refrigerator for a few hours, and then I put it in this bowl, and I'm going to let it sit. First I kneaded it a little bit more just to keep it active, and then I'm going to let it sit until probably this afternoon, and then I'll shape it into a loaf, let it rise a little bit more, and then bake it off, and it'll be gorgeous. Maybe I'll do a short later and show you that. But I just wanted to show you my sourdough starter in my glass bowl here. Susan, I like using a glass bowl especially because it keeps the starter clean. There's nothing for it to grab and pull into the starter that's unhealthy for you. But also, like, see how it dries around the edges? That's dehydrated sourdough starter. So that's how they mail it to people. They just kind of scrape the bits off the edge. Mine actually is pretty clean. I just did a scraping this week. So like once a month I'll go through with my wooden spoon and I'll just really gently scrape all the sourdough that's dehydrated around the edges, all those dry bits, right into the starter. Keeps it healthy, gives it really good flavor. You have the choice of using sugar or honey to feed it also, and I like to do honey, but you could do anything. I like to do honey from my local area. And you can see the flies love it, so you cannot keep it uncovered. The bread has to be covered. The sourdough starter, I use cheesecloth. And I use the same cheesecloth every time. I always cover it with the same side. And then I just kind of attach it with rubber bands. So there you go. That's my little sourdough starter, Susan. Flaubert, want to say hi? Hey, cutie. He's like, anything for me down here? No. All right. We love you. Thanks for watching. Oh, happy tail. We'll see you soon. Bye, Susan.